to episode 329. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Eric Hanson, and I just want to say thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Keith.
Now, for people who want to know what the KeithAndrewNetWork is, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. That you should never give up and you should prove people wrong. And it's all about showing people that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. That being said, half hour, 40 minutes every time. See how it goes. You could go longer if so. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
I am an actor and filmmaker in Dallas, Texas. Originally from a small town in Arkansas called Sheridan, Arkansas, population 3,042. Salute. And been happily married going on 15 years.
No, absolutely. And if your wife is interested, she's more than welcome to join us.
She's wearing her sweatpants, so she probably would say no. She said, "Don't put me in it," and I said, "Okay."
Well, there's always next time.
Mm-hmm.
So the first question I was going to ask you, and I didn't mean to cut you off, I apologize. First thing I was going to ask you is, you mentioned you are a director, correct?
Yeah.
How would you be interested in doing a documentary about me? Not just putting you on the spot, but I don't want to put you on the spot. But what do you, hypothetically speaking, would you be interested in doing a documentary about me or interviewing me and hearing my story?
You know what? I absolutely would, and I want to tell you why. I believe timing is everything. The last film that I did was a film called Brady's Lot. And it was a short film to bring awareness to a person with mild Asperger's syndrome, and we made sure to have Brady, the main character, as a guy that he had Asperger's and he had a learning disability, but he was going through life as we all go through. And as we're making this film, there were so many things that touched us. Everyone that was on the set, everyone that was acting in it, that we realized we are all the same. Different people may have different characteristics. Some people may have a tic. Some people may appear to be normal, whatever that is. But there's going to be something that we all identify with individually that belongs to us. And whenever we were making Brady's Lot, we realized that these deep personal things that people go through, we all go through something to some extent, and some people have a more difficult time going through it, and we need to be aware of that. So, yeah, to answer your question, I would be interested, and I think that it's interesting that you and I are talking after going through such an emotional roller coaster on that film. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, could you go, cut you off in the beginning, Skype, it's not always perfect. But Next question I was going to ask you, what was the purpose of the film? I know you said the guy was Asperger's, but what was the main purpose? Trying to phrase it. What was the main purpose of the movie? Are you guys going to be nominated for any awards, or was it to bring awareness? You were going in depth into more about.
It was to tell a story, and I wanted to use a character that that goes through life, and he's not just a person with Asperger's. He's a character in the play. I mean, in the film. And I wanted to do a film that brought an unconventional character to the forefront and treated this person like they should be treated, like normal people, like we all are. And also at the same time wanted to raise awareness because inadvertently, people tend to forget that Brady did have special needs and he did have Asperger's, and so they would sometimes, if someone would be joking along with him, he might not completely understand the joke, and so it's the dichotomy of awareness of remembering, but also treat everyone as you'd like to be treated. And so that was the purpose of the film, was to tell a story and to tell how miscommunication can happen and how we need to all be cognizant of who we are and who we're with and what we say, and what we say has meaning, has power behind it, whether you mean it to or not.
Well, for a perfect example, like when I first approached you to be a guest on my show, I was extending my hand to you in friendship. So that has a strong meaning and that has a strong purpose for it.
That's right.
If you want to compare those two.
No, you're absolutely right. And when you reached out, I was excited to be in contact with you, and I'm excited to be doing this interview for your show.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, what were some of your favorite documentaries you have produced, and have you ever wanted to be nominated for any awards?
There is a documentary that I have on my plate that I would like to do, that's called Short Film the Movie, where I would like to show there are so many short films that are being made, and there are certain characteristics that they all tend to have, and I would like to do a documentary film about the making of a film, an independent film. What was the second part of the question?
Oh, have you ever gotten any awards?
Well, I've won awards. I think Brady's Lot has won, I think, 14 awards so far. And I've been nominated as a director and writer on that, and also a couple of 2 awards, 2 nominations for acting. Yeah, and I don't do it. I don't go out to try and win any kind of awards. I think that an award is something that is an honor after the fact. If you play to that, then the truth gets lost, because in every story there has to be an element of truth. And in every joke, it's not funny unless there's an element of truth. And every story has to have truth. And if you lose focus of what that is and the purity of what it is you're trying to get across in order to win an award, then you have done yourself and the audience ultimately a disservice. Once you're finished and you look at the finished product and other people like it and they want to give you a high five and a trophy, I've got a big shelf. I can take all the high fives and trophies that want to be handed to me, but I prefer the craft of making the film.
No, absolutely. That's going back to me with my talk show. You need to have a passion for what you do. If you're going to go into something half-ass, then it's really not going to work out. But if you go in with a game plan and the heart and passion, then anything is available to happen.
I agree. Anything you do in life, play for keeps.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you, just looking back in my book, it's usually season 1 I do the book, season 2 I just wing it, but I decided, why not do the book again? So the next question I was going to ask you was, what were some of your favorite films that were hard to get people on board, number 1, and at the same time hard to direct, and you didn't think it was going to work out?
That I've watched? What are some films that I've watched, or movies that I've made that were hard to get people on board?
Well, the first one is, I lost my train of thought. First one I was going to ask you, what were some of your favorite films you directed that you didn't think were going to work out? And the second question is, some of those films that you did direct, how did you get people to be on board?
Some of the films that were challenging, that I did not know if they were going to work out or not. I work with a lot of local actors, and we will do what's called demo reel footage. So what we'll do is we'll write an actual full-on scene for them, maybe not a full film, but a scene for them to act in, and we will have a full crew. We'll have the lights guy, the sound guy, the absolute full-on crew, and we'll take this person in a short scene, and then now that they're going to have a clip of that scene and add to their demo reel, and it's going to show what they look and sound like on camera, and it's going to show their range and that they're actually really funny. And sometimes I've done some demo reel footage that I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know that I wrote a character that this person would have. And once we got on set, not a single time, not one time did it not work out. The human spirit is an amazing thing, and when people come to play for keeps, when people come to play for real, it's amazing what people can do. I had one set where I actually had my actual doctor play a doctor in a scene. He had never acted before in his life, and we had a discussion about it. He wanted to be there. He wanted to do this, and we discussed everything in detail. The camera started rolling, and boy, did he knock it out of the park. I had people texting me for a week. Who was that guy? I had him in my movie. So I haven't had a problem that we couldn't fix. And I give it all to the human spirit. We can do so much more than we can.
No, absolutely. I know. I just still want to apologize to you and for our listeners. How's it on your side? Is it freezing? Is it loading?
It freezes a little bit, just every once in a while. But that's okay. I can hear everything.
This is why I would like my own studio, so I wouldn't have to rely on Skype. Work in progress. Now, the next question I was going to ask you would be, let's see, actually a good question. Can you imagine a time where you wanted to do... Okay, this one's good. Can you imagine a time where you were directing and you just said halfway, screw it, it's not going to work out, and eventually it works out? Have you ever gotten one of those times?
Oh, man, yes. Yes, that happens quite a bit. I was doing a stage production. It was a live play. We were doing a play called True West, written by Sam Shepard. And there was this one scene during rehearsals while we're doing what's called blocking, where we're deciding where we're going to stand and where we're going to be talking to each other. And there was this one scene where my character was supposed to really tell his brother off. He lays it on the line. He tells it straight, square business, right down the barrel to him. And it's supposed to be very intense, and it's a peak moment. I wanted to play it very intense, where it's going to be nice and slow. You're going to see everything that I'm telling you, and you're going to hear it, and it's going to be intense. And I wanted to do it soft and intense. And my director, who's directed over 200 plays, was like, no, we want you big, big, we want big. And I thought, I don't want to play it big, because if I yell and scream, then I lose my real power. But if I'm still and if I'm calm, that's more intense. And he said, I'll tell you what, you show me your way, and then you do it my way, and then we'll look at both of them. I said, all right. So I gave it to him, in the first one. I just nice and what it was that I wanted to do, And he said, all right, now do it my way, but do it bigger than you think. Okay. So we get into the scene and just going big and just as big as you can go and loud and then soft and just almost like a cartoon character, you know, just so full of life. And he said, okay, well, we're going with my way. And I said, okay. And so it ended up being my favorite scene in the play. And it's a way that I didn't want to do it. And after I understood what he was wanting, it became my favorite scene. And I knew that it was going to be such a powerful scene that I couldn't wait to get to that point in the play, because I knew after that scene, I knew we had the audience for the rest of the show. So it was being adaptability, you know, showing adaptability, but it was also, this isn't going to work. Trust the other person, and especially your director and whoever has the vision. And I learned a great deal about trust on that day, I'll tell you.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you was, what's the difference between being a director, as in just doing short films, and being a director on TV, or producing a TV show?
Okay, well, producing is a completely different animal than directing. A producer is going to have to line up everything. They're going to have to do all the hiring. They're going to have to find the locations. They're going to have to work with the casting people. They're going to have to they deal with the money. If it costs money, a producer's got a part to play in it. And on a TV show, it depends on the channel. And I've acted in TV shows, but I haven't worked behind the camera. I haven't done production side on TV. I've just acted in. But a director in a short film, especially a short independent film, frequently works as the producer. And on the producer, you're gonna set up the location. You're gonna make sure that you have the 1960s cop car that you have, you know, for your script. You know, everything you need. You're gonna have to get with people in wardrobe, make sure everybody, you know, not two people are wearing the exact same clothes. That, you know, different things. And the director, the way that I work is when I'm on set, everything is put in place, and we have the sound guy hired, and he's on set, and we have the wardrobe, we have everybody there, we have makeup. The job at that point is to just kind of be a conductor of an orchestra. You assume that the actors know all their lines, so you don't have to teach them to play the flute. You know, you expect they come in and read music, and you just kind of check in and make sure that each thing is going on schedule and going on time. And then you want to make sure that you have a good assistant director who's going to be able to be hands-on on all those things. And then you get down to the fun stuff where you get cameras, you know, lights, cameras, action. At that point, you want to make sure that that the shots, you know, you're going to work with the director of photography to make sure that the camera angle looks good and it seems to work. You're going to make sure that the lighting works. And you're going to make sure that everything is flowing the way that you had it in your mind. And then you just watch the actors. And then when you have really good actors, it's like dinner and a movie. It's like watching a free movie, you know, maybe 6 or 7 times in a row for each take, but you get to work and watch with each person. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to pass the show over to you.
Okay.
A message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shout-outs, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, You can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from, and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre. Buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities, and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
I'm so bored.
Want to see something really cool?
Yeah!
Now you'll never be bored again with Loot Crate, a totally bodacious mystery box packed with awesome toys, radical games, and other surprises. And the best part is, you can get Loot Crate delivered right to your door. So don't delay. Ask your parents and order today.
Everything okay in there? Yeah, everything great. I love Loot Crate.
Batteries not included.
Gentlemen, welcome back to 329. I'm your host, Keith Andrew. Along here with Eric Hanson. And for the last 18 minutes and 20 seconds as we're counting down, I'm going to pass the show to you. You can ask me anything you want. And if there's anything you want to promote, love to hear it. If you have any funny stories, this is your time after all. Now I'm passing the floor over to you.
Yeah, pass the floor over to me. All right. I'm curious. How many? You say you've done 300 something.
329.
329. You have some stories, don't you? What was what would be one of your most interesting stories that you like to tell? Whenever you talk to your friends and they say, well, so tell me one of your favorite stories that you like to tell about one of the interviews.
All right, that's an interesting question. Some of my favorite guests I interviewed has to be Kerrigan Mayhem. He did the voice of Goldar from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and he told me a couple of funny stories. How the security guard is giving him a hard time, and basically, his life and everything while growing up. So I don't have personal stories about myself because I'm pretty boring. But when someone else tells me their stories, it's really funny. Like, he was arguing with a security guard, wouldn't let him in. And my other favorite guest I had was Winnie Pablo, the brother of the Macho Man, Randy Savage. And he was in the back of the car with his brother and dad. And they were talking about the windshield, saying, what's the matter, you have no balls, you can't drive without the windshield. And basically, the long story about that was Randy Savage said, I have to have a car with air conditioning. It's a luxury. His dad would say, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's a luxury, it's a necessity. It's like, okay, fine. Did he have any windshields when you were driving the car? Yes, I did. What's the matter, no balls? It's one funny story. Then I interviewed, the guy from Off the Record, drawing a blank up, Michael Ransberg. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, part of my disability. Michael Ransberg. He was from Off the Record, and people can look it up for michaelswanberg.com, Off the Record. And he interviewed everyone from the whole professional wrestling. And he was telling me all these great stories, and he was coaching me during the interviews. And he was telling me, you should do this, and you should do that. And, looking at the negative, did I deal with a lot of assholes? Yeah. A lot of people, you ask me, and I try my best to forget this, but it still annoys me. Originally, you were supposed to be 429. When I first started my talk show, I didn't have any permission forms, so I was taking people at their word. And little by little, people were saying to me, take it down, can you hide it, can you not show it? And after the sixth person, I'm like, what the hell? Well, this is really putting a damper on my work, because when people say, oh, I want to watch episode 5, but 5 isn't there. I don't want to watch episode 1, but 1 isn't there. Then the excuses came out. Saying, yeah, and this is how they talk. Yeah, I did your show, and my agent said, and my publicist said, your show is really degrading. We don't want to be associated with people like you. I thought this charity case would help me with my cause and make me into a better light. Or if you had people who make stupid jokes, like, for an example, this one comedian said to me, and it's inappropriate, but it's up to you if you want to hear it.
I want to hear everything.
So he said to me, and like I said, it's uncensored, freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. She said to me, this did not come from me, this came from her. It's like, well, I'm a dirty comedian. Yeah, okay, freedom of speech, whatever. Your fans want to hear it, say it. All right. Oh, why is it difficult to eat pussy in the fog? Oh, it's foggy. You can't see the asshole in front of you.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. And that was in poor taste. But I'm just telling you word for word what she said. And instead of saying, hey, we did a great interview, can you edit that part out, or can you take it out? I appreciate it. Nope. Mm-hmm. Instead, she said, take it down or I'm going to sue you. And I'm like, hey, you're the one who made that stupid joke. I didn't tell you to say shit. You're the one who said it. So, whatever. You want me to edit it, that's fine, but you didn't have to throw the interview at me. But then,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Some people are not happy unless they're unhappy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people wake up in the morning and they do not make that conscious decision to say, I'm going to be good today. I'm going to do things that I want to. I want to enlighten others today. I want to be the best me that I can be today. And they just kind of go through that day and just wing it. And then at the end of the day, those same people are the ones that stay up late at night with regrets of, why did I say that? I wish I could take that back. And I think that part of, for me, morning protocol is, what can I do today to make others, make it better for others, and what can I do today for myself to make me better too. And I think that that's important, that we do something like that, a morning, something that we take ownership of. And if we go through life and just wing it, there's going to be a lot of people that I can't go back to the grocery store and ask that grocery clerk, hey, remember when I was rude to you? Can you edit that part of your day out? No. Right? You don't get to do that. There's no do-overs. So make a plan ahead. Plan ahead to be the best you can. Just the thought process of thinking about it does wonders for you the rest of the day.
No, I agree with you. Now, the next subject I was going to ask you, is everyone's personal favorite, is, have you ever worked in retail, and do you have any funny retail stories?
Oh, do I have any funny retail stories? I did work retail. I sold shoes at JCPenney's. You would think that I would have funny foot stories. Retail. I did. It's not really funny, but I did for about 2 weeks. I did a telemarketing job when I was right out of high school. Whenever you just smile and dial, and you call. I remember what I think I was selling magazine, advertisements for a magazine or something. And the state that I got asked to call was the same state where was Virginia, where my brother was living in Quantico, and he was in the Marines. And all my area codes started with the same area code as his. And so I just called my brother and his friends and just talked and just chatted with them and didn't even, if they want to see my call records, I didn't realize that they were listening in. I just thought that they saw the numbers that I was calling. And yeah, I got fired for that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only. I didn't do a lot of retail. I worked in. I was a waiter for a while, and so I've got some interesting waiter stories. This one I was working. Yeah, I better not tell that one.
My dude, freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression.
Yeah, we had a friend of mine that this is a friend of mine, one of my best friends in the entire world. His name was Juan Velez, and he just moved to Dallas, Texas from Colombia, and he was learning English. And so we were getting ready to open up the restaurant, and all the waiters are kind of polishing their glasses, and it was a nice restaurant, and kind of joking around. And Juan, as he was learning English, he would always repeat the most interesting word that he just heard. Like right then, he would say, interesting. He would say, yes, interesting. And one of the sommeliers, the wine steward, asked Juan, he said, Juan, why do you always repeat back to me what I just said? Are you a parrot? And everybody laughed a little, and Juan said, parrot. Yes, I'm a parrot. And so for the next few minutes, every time that steward would walk by, he would say, hi, parrot. Hey, parrot, are you a parrot? And it wasn't funny after about 5 seconds. So one of the other waiters told Juan, he said, Juan, the next time this guy asks you if you're a parrot, say, yes, I want a cracker. So he said, okay. So as soon as he said that, the wine steward comes back by and he said, hi, parrot. And Juan says, hi, cracker. Right?
Actually, that's really funny. Well, I don't have any funny stories like that. When I worked in retail, wrapping up, then I have one more question for you. Recently, I worked in the store, and I don't have a filter when it comes to asshole people. So if you puss on me, I'm going to puss right back at you. And whatever happens, happens. So this guy, I don't know, the manager said to me, there was nothing wrong with what I said, but I should have walked away and said it. Basically, the guy was standing there having a temper tantrum, and he's walking around because I'm the only cashier working. So, and it's only two people. Just one girl and him and his mother or grandmother or whatever the hell that person was. So he was going back and forth. So can you call someone? Yes, I called on the headset. Like 10 minutes later, and they're, this is really ridiculous. Why are we late in here? Could you get more service? And I just said, you know what? I have an impatient customer. He wants to be checked out and he wants to leave. And next thing you know, I had my head down. I looked up. He said, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? You can't talk to me like that. And I'm going to get you fired. I'm going to get you written up. No, I promise you, I'm going to get you fired. You're going to cry. And you're going to walk out the store. And that's how he's talking to me.
Wow.
And now my manager came over. And I'm like, yep, I just cost myself a job over here. And he's like, he called me impatient. Yes, I do agree. I am impatient. And this is an impatient situation. But this asshole over here didn't have to call me that. He went on and on and on. And I was going to get yelled at. And meanwhile, I'm ringing up the customer, and the customer is listening to everything. She's on my side. And before he left, he came directly right at me, stuck his face in mine, and says, "You don't know who you're fucking with." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know you're a neo-Nazi." But I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "I'm a freaking cashier, and you're acting all big and bad because you have a skin head. Mr. Tough Guy over here."
Yeah. Again, some people need to wake up and make a decision that day to be a little bit better that day, don't they?
No, absolutely. And I wasn't scared. I was actually, it's fight or fright. And I was actually anxious. I was like, do it. Do it. Take a swing. Take a swing. Take a swing, because I promise, as hard as you hit me, I'm going to hit back. And it's like, who the hell are you, like a 40-year-old or whatever, talking down to someone knowing that they have a learning disability, and I'm like, oh, because you're a tough guy, you wanted to impress your girl or impress your grandmother. I'm like, you know what? Hey, buddy, there's the door. Don't want to hit you on the way out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to get away from those people, man. Yeah.
Now, compared to your story, I think listeners would like your story a lot more.
Well, there's a whole lot of stories in this world, I'll tell you one more funny one, since my wife's not doesn't. But I want to tell you a funny wife story. It's one of my favorite all-time stories. She was in Hawaii, and she was with some girlfriends, and she was on a whale watching boat, and through this insane technology that we have, which is cellular phones. I was in Chicago, and when I'm talking to her while she was on a boat whale watching. I mean, can you ever imagine that 100 years ago? And so while we're talking, just talking about random, what are you going to do today? She said, "Oh my gosh, that whale just jumped right out of the water, and then it went right back in." That's one of my favorite stories. Like, where else is the whale going to
go? That's true. I used to be a John Cena fan, and my brother was at college, and this is before we had Skype and webcams, and my favorite cartoon was Undergrads. So I used to message him on Instant Messenger until I thought I was being funny. But he said I was being an ass. So I messaged him, it's like, "You can't see me?" And he's like, yes, I know. So, I thought it was funny, but he still makes fun of me. He's like, "Oh, how am I supposed to see you? You don't have a camera, do you?" So when I do...
Yes, sir.
When I do stupid things, it's funny, but when I try to actually be funny, it's not really funny. But, I do have my moments.
That, you know what? I think that's how it is in general. When someone tries to be funny, a lot of times it falls flat. But the simple things that we're not planning for, those are the things that really crack me up.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up our talk show, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. What I end the show on everything, and I do apologize for Skype, cutting in, cutting out. This is why I want my own studio. But, the internet is what it is. But what I'm going to ask you is, going on the record, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your honest opinion? And after being a guest, how do you feel now?
You're the person has approached me through. So I know that there are a lot of interviews that go on direct contact wow, this is great timing, because we had just finished again the film Brady's Lot, and the timing was perfect.
I do have one.
Did I lose you?
Yes, one request. Could you repeat that, because I completely cut out, and the only thing we got was Brady's War.
Oh, okay, yeah. When I first got your message on Facebook, I'd had other requests for interviews before, so it wasn't some sort of a shock that was out of nowhere. It was like, oh, this is interesting. Let's see. So I watched some of your videos, and I like your honesty, and I like the way that you don't have any pretense about you, and you don't wear learning disability on my sleeve. You make sure that it's out and that it's open and talk about, and you can discuss it. You can make a joke about a certain thing, but it's all honesty, and that's the thing that I appreciated. I wanted to have the other actor, the guy that played Brady, and maybe you can do another interview with him. I would highly recommend it. He's a terrific actor by the name of Vance Sparks, and he would deserve his own show. He's phenomenal. He's so interesting. And he had to go through a lot of deep levels to play that character. But yeah, I was excited to do it after I looked up and watched some of your interviews, and I liked the no bullshit attitude. I appreciate that. And then after doing it, it's what I thought it was going to be. You know, I did my research. So this is as fun as I was thinking and I was hoping it would be. This has been a blast.
No, absolutely, and I'm looking forward to part 2.
Yeah. All right.